Hello, hi. I have read No Rest for the Wicked. And why did I pick it? Because cats, especially black cats. Did you know they're one of the most abused cats? Not the rats. So, adopt black cats. It is written by Rachel Louise Adams. Genre mystery thriller. And even though this kind of gives me like a fantasy vibe, there's no fantasy in here. Page count 326. It gets a 3.7 out of in Goodreads. It's part of Goodreads gives it a 3.7. Sorry, I'm rambling today. And it is part of a series. Now, this very Halloweeny feely book follows Dolores. Sympathies if your name is Dolores, who has gone through a lot of Dolores in life. At the current moment, she is a forensic pathologist living in LA, suffering in LA. But not as much as if she were living in her small town, who's obsessed with Halloween. That is until she gets a phone call that her politician father has gone missing. And girl, even though she hasn't talked to him in 18 years, she's like, no, I need to go help find this guy. And in doing that, they uncover all these well-kept secrets. Now, trigger warning that's going to lead to my content rating. There is mention, though not described in detail, details of SA and abortion. Again, I don't think that the general traumatized public would have a problem reading this book. Who am I to say? I am not. That is not I. But it's not one of those books that almost feel like they're glorifying these problems, as some of us know can happen in media. Now, content rating for the spice scale, and I will describe here what the scale is for all of them. Salt. No one's kissing, flirting. When they describe the horrific acts, they're just like, A, did this to B, and then with the medical part, B went to doctor, and that happened. So, for gore, or you could say the steak scale, because we have medium. Even though you probably can't go to a restaurant and order medium, that's what I'm gonna put. Standard action level. There is blood. No, it's not a lot of fighting. It's just more the blood, because again, she is the pathologist that examines the dead bodies. I feel like I'm doing a religious movement and not the the cut that they put in those movies. You love my dog barking in the background? Yeah, he's unnerving me too. So, maybe I should even put like rare, but it's not. I guess it's up to your discretion. This scale is me putting my opinion, but again, it's not that bad. They mention, oh, this is how this person was murdered. Moving on. Now, swearing. That one, yeah, that one's not up to discussion. That one I would put rum and coke, because sometimes I would even question why there was cursing. But at the same time, it's not that kind of cursing where it makes me feel uncomfortable. Because even though it's a lot, the vibe of the book is just not. It's just not what some of these other writers do, and I want to say where they want you to feel like the person. No, it's just boom, and they said it. Move on. Which is what I like about the book. What else I loved about the book? That no one was black or white. There wasn't, the main character didn't descend from the heavens and she's sparkling and she's an angel. No, she has her faults. And the villains themselves, there's villains and antagonists. I'm not going to get into that, but they're not all terrible people. Like, I honestly felt bad for one of the really, really bad guys. Like, when he went to jail, I was like, thank you, Lord Jesus. But at the same time, I was like, I could see why he did that, though. What didn't work for me, it was actually hard to find what didn't work for me for this book, but the grammar. And as all books, this is just the most generic complaint I could think of. There were sentences where I'm like, But throughout the whole book, there's probably like 10. Keeping in mind when it comes to spelling, I am not really good at spelling, so if you're that's your thing, I apologize. So final rating, 4.8 out of 5. Why? Because I want it to be complicated. She gives everybody 5s and I just decide I ain't gonna give you a 5. I'm just being silly, I'm sorry. Similar books. I was tooting my own horn or patting myself in the back doing all this stuff because a similar book is Gone Before Goodbye, a book I already reviewed by Reese Witherspoon, which, by the way, has more mistakes than this one, even though it's Reese Witherspoon. And girl, you got the money to fix that. I don't know how much money Rachel has, but I would assume Reese Witherspoon has more. Sharp Objects, didn't even bother to looking up who wrote that one. The Sundown Motel, and like I said, this is part of the series. The next book that continues Dolores' story, Where's the Smoke? It has pigs in the cover, but it's not even out yet, so I can't even fake promise to read that one because October 6th, 2026 is the expected publication date. And hopefully I will remember to read that book or, go get it in the library when it comes out. Hopefully. Bueno, that is my review. If you found this review thing chaotic, erratic, all over the place, hopefully you also find those kind of reviews cool. Like, comment, subscribe, please. Also, do you think I should have tried to put on a costume because this is Halloween-y? And instead I just kind of went with this shirt because it gave me Where's Waldo vibes. Bye.